Welcome into the Morning Hustle, man. Is a dude who's been dope for a long time. He represents the city of New Orleans, and he got a story to tell. Ladies and gentlemen, one time for the homie, Dee-1!
Thank you very much, bro.
Bro, it has been a minute.
Yeah.
And I've watched your career take so many different twists and turns. Rewinding back a few years, Dee-1, you had a big lucrative deal going down with, I believe, was it Atlantic Records?
RCA. Yeah.
And my man stood on his own 2 feet and was like, hey, listen, man, I'm going to talk about the industry and all the things that are going on with it that I don't agree with. And they're like, oh, wait a minute. You saying what you saying is going against who our cash cow at the time is.
Right.
And we don't like your narrative, but you stood on your own, too, and you did things your way. Yeah. And I've only seen your stock continue to go up since then.
That's it, baby. I'm just rising and rising, and I'm keeping my integrity in the process, bro. You know, I know a lot of people who have made it, but they don't like the person they are when they look in the mirror. And they're like, dang, I made it by the world standards, but when I look in the mirror, I hate who I am. And I never wanted to be that person, man, never. So here I am. I feel like I'm a made man at this point. I feel like I've had my opportunities to sell out, if that's what I was in this game to do, to take the quick dollars. But at this point, I've built a movement. I've built a lifestyle. It's called Mission Vision. You know what I mean? I own my own label. I put my own music out. I tour. And this is all done with the integrity of knowing that I am who I am.
Love that. Now, for those who don't know the beginnings of your story, you used to be a teacher.
Oh yeah, I was a math teacher, man.
Wow.
Before D1, I was Mr. Augustine. Yeah. Real
Do you
talk.
run into your old students? I don't know, perhaps at your shows or just in the streets?
All the time.
For
Everything
real?
you say, in the streets, at the shows. One of my old students, he's actually blowing up as an artist right now. Dude named Fredo Bang. So,
Okay, yeah.
like, that's my old student, bro. That's Frederick Givens. That's my student. So it's amazing to see that, because when I stopped teaching, I looked all my students in the eye and I said, look, y'all, I'm going to stop teaching in the classroom after this year, so y'all won't see me anymore. But I'm going to try to get out here in this world and still have the same heart that y'all know I have, but just on a bigger level. So I'm still going to be a teacher, just with a bigger classroom now.
So what made that shift happen? Like, what was the moment when you was like, all right, I'm finna take a turn on this, like, from the teaching to...
Honestly, just because the behind-the-scenes part of the education system, especially in Louisiana, where I'm from, I felt like it was still enslaving our students to a certain extent. And we didn't have the ability to really teach what really needed to be heard, you know, by these students. It was so much focused around just passing the LEAP test, you know, and passing these standardized tests that I was like, man, what they actually need are life skills. You know, it's not just passing a test to promote you to the next grade. These students need life skills, because what they're going through outside the classroom, that's actually making it hard for them to focus when they get in here.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, as an artist, as a rapper, I have the ability to, like, my favorite rappers made me want to dress like them, talk like them, walk like them. I viewed the world the way they viewed the world, because I looked up to the totality of who they were, you know? And I said, if I could be that same type of role model for some other people around this world and around this country, I think that that's the best use of my time and my talents here on this earth.
Now, keep it in math for a second. You know, I have small children, and they come home, and they're doing new math. My kid showed me something, I wanted to punch him. This wasn't the way I learned math. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell's going on here? Like, you know, so from a person who probably, like, was doing math the old school way, when you see this new math, as a former math teacher, how does this make you feel?
I think that, honestly, we got to evolve with the times. So everything evolves. Music, we're not expecting people to rap on hip, hop, a hippie to the hippie to the hip. We're not expecting people to rap on those type of beats.
Some people still use that bar to start off their verse.
I recently heard somebody end their verse with "ruh."
I know you lying. I know you lying. If somebody start off their verse with hip hop, hippie to the hippie, put them out. Put them out. Like, that's crazy. But I'm cool with evolution. I'm cool with evolution, especially when it comes to education, because, like, these students are actually smarter than ever, because technology makes it to where a 2-year-old will be sitting there on an iPad, you know, taking you through the motions, and you sitting there like, how do you know how to do this stuff? But their brains are configured differently, so we have to engage them with different things that we did in the past. Yeah.
I wanted to ask too, as far as, like, from a career standpoint, as we spoke to your pivot from teaching to going to music full time and then getting a big deal but saying, hey, I'm going to do my own thing. A lot of times people will go with the dollars because they got a family to support or they've got, expenses and things like that. So how were you able to say, I know you've got your integrity and moral value that says, hey, I want to stick to that. But at the same time, when it comes to just expenses, paying your bills, things like that,
right.
What did you do to help build your own empire?
Correct.
Knowing that you don't have that capital coming in.
That's a wonderful question. So first and foremost, when I was a teacher, I prepared to take this risk. A lot of people jump off the porch and they like, man, God told me to quit my job today, so I'm going in there and quitting today.
Right.
No, he ain't tell me that. You heard me? He told me, like, look, this is going to be your last year teaching. You heard me? So you can take this year and save up as much as you can. So I had a savings account stacked up before I ever stopped teaching. So that gave me some cushion area, right? Number one, I had some savings. Number two, when I started to, a lot of rappers, we doing this just trying to get popular. But Instagram followers don't equal money in your bank account.
Right.
So you have to have products that you can monetize. So before I stopped teaching, I made sure that I stopped putting out free mixtapes and I put out an album that I could monetize. Because if you don't have anything that people can purchase and patronize from you, how you gonna make bread? You feel me?
Okay.
So that's something I did. I also realized that the things that people like about me, I have to take note of that, because if it's consistent that people like the same character traits and things about you, you can actually take that and monetize that. You just have to know who you are and what the monetizable parts of your personality and of your brand are. I learned that stuff, and as an artist, I've gotten to the point where, my clothing line, Mission Vision clothing, like it's something to wear, from apparel to speaking engagements to concerts to music, to corporate partnerships. I finished paying my student loans off, right, a few years ago. I made a song about it. The song blew up. It's called Sally Mayback, right? What I did was I formed a partnership with Sally Mae after that. So now for the past few years, we've traveled this world together and gone to communities where I'm educating students about financial literacy.
Right.
And through doing that, we're blessing them with knowledge that's priceless, and also with college scholarships. We've given out over $500,000 in college scholarships.
Wow.
That's hard.
Yeah.
That's for real.
So these are all different income streams. These are all, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Not to mention, when you do start to make a little money, you got to ask yourself, do I go and buy that car that's going to look good when I flex on the gram, or do I put that into the stock market? You know what I'm saying? Or do I get a piece of property and do that? And I've always taken the latter route. I'm not the dude that's flexing. You know what I'm saying? Like like I said, I never built my fan base or my brand based on having to outstunt you, And I come from New Orleans, where we known for like the number one stunner, Birdman, and that's all we bling bling, baby.
How do you get past those temptations? Because I'm pretty sure there's a point in time where you be like, damn, but that car do look kind of good.
Yeah, I mean, I got a nice car. Don't get No, I got a nice car, but there's always something nicer if you're trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
So that's the difference. That's the difference is, I realize if you're trying to live to impress people, then you'll always feel unsatisfied at the end of the day. Because as soon as I work hard to impress you, then she not impressed. And she like, oh, you got to come harder. You got to wear something pricier than that. As soon as I impress her, head crackers like, man, we ain't even on that no more. We on some new stuff. And
you keeping up with everybody else.
It's a race you ain't never gonna win. Like you always
come
run.
on, man. I see too many people doing it, man. I know these rappers at this point. I had a great conversation with T.I. last night. That's one of the best parts about the event I went to. Me and Tip, my first management deal was with Grand Hustle. So shout out to the whole Grand Hustle. Went on my first nationwide tour with Young Dro, Killer Mike, and it was just great to be around a bunch of veterans in the game. And I'm fresh out the classroom, you heard me? I'm fresh out being a teacher, and I'm on this nationwide tour. And I instantly saw, like, man, I'm going to go furthest in this game if I could be comfortable in my own skin. You feel me? Because I realized, man, I can't do what Young Dro does every night on stage. No matter what, I see him, and the people love him for that. And I tried it sometimes. I actually bought a sweater. Dro like to be colorful, you heard me? I bought a sweater one time. We were on tour. I said, man, this look like something Dro would wear. I'm going to wear this, and the people might feel me a little more tonight. Man, I felt like a clown in that thing. Man. I said, this ain't me.
So it's like people feel you when you feel yourself. You know what I'm saying?
There you go, that's a bar. You
gotta do you.
Yeah, real
That's
talk.
a bar. And I wish I could tweet that, but unfortunately, I'm locked out of Twitter right now. So if anybody from Twitter watching it, bro, I forgot my password, you heard me? So I logged out figuring I'm gonna do the password reset. When I did the password reset, and they supposed to send it to my email with a verification code. I never got the email.
Sent to the wrong email. You probably got the wrong email registered on
Right.
your
Oh,
shit.
Did you check your spam?
Huh?
Check your spam?
I didn't check my No, you know, they were supposed to text it to me. They was like, we're going to text it to the phone number ending in these 2 digits. That's my cell phone number. So
Right.
I've been waiting for a week for the verification code,
Oh,
bro.
yeah.
So I can't even tweet that little bar just now.
I tweeted for you. Just save it. Just retweet it when you get back.
There we
home.
go.
That's right. Now, you spoke about New Orleans, man. That is home for you.
Yeah.
A lot of great people come out of there. A lot of great people have met their end in the same city that they came from.
I'm going to a funeral this weekend, bro.
I'm sorry to hear
Fifth
that, brother.
World Weeby, yeah.
Yeah. Now,
Bounce
his was
legend.
natural causes.
Yeah, it was. It was.
But, you know, there's a lot of people who, like, you know, there's a lot of people who will be happy for you when you come from where you come from.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people who are not happy for you. How do you feel like you're perceived in your hometown? Do you feel like you'll maintain your residency in New Orleans, or are you already up out of there?
Yeah. So I usually don't talk about, you know, all that type of stuff. Just because I like to stay nimble and not even have people know, you know, I'm a resident of the earth. That's how.
Honestly, that's what I like to say.
Flat out.
But I tell you, like, no, most of my time is not spent in New Orleans at this point. Being in New Orleans, it's like, it's addictive because there's so many, you know, great things about the culture and the food and all that stuff. But it's also, it can also be claustrophobic because we don't have a world view to see what's going on. We feel like New Orleans is a state in and of itself. No, we're part of a state called Louisiana, but we operate and function like, man, it's New Orleans. Ain't nothing mattering if it ain't in and of New Orleans, you know? And I realized that that's a very limiting mindset. And also when you have a lot of success as a rapper in New Orleans, you can start to feel like a target.
Yeah.
For sure. You definitely start to feel like a target. But I don't fall in that type of category because I'm a man of the people. You know what I'm saying? I just gave away 1,300 pairs of shoes. I just did a cool partnership with Puma. Blessed my old hood, my community right before Christmas. You know what I mean? Gave out kicks to the community. If not that, I'm speaking in a church or in the schools or just letting people know, like, I'm not here to rub my success in your face. Right. I'm here to motivate you and show you that I am of you. You know what I mean?
And it's possible.
So when somebody, long story short, all I'm trying to say is when somebody pull up on me at the gas station in New Orleans and when they hop out that car with them tints and with them gold teeth, they also extending their hand saying, I love you, little brother. I appreciate what you're doing. They're not hopping out with that other energy.
Right.
You heard,
Yeah.
right? So that's a blessing.
That's what's up now. Like, you know, you're getting it how you live, man. Like, I'm seeing you on different, like, I saw you destroy the, not the Urban One Honors, but it was like the Urban Music Honors.
Oh, the
where you did
Black Music Honors.
Black Music Honors. You did the tribute to Arrested Development.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I was watching proudly from the crowd, like,
Yes,
yo,
sir.
that's the homie standing next to the legends.
Yeah.
And you're also living literally the fast life right now.
Yeah.
You're doing a fast currently.
Yeah.
How does that benefit people, for those that don't know?
So honestly, I'm just trying to get closer to God. So for me, fasting is depriving me of the type of foods that I have a craving for. So anytime I have that craving and I know that I can't do that, instantly my focus goes back to, why are you doing this, D? You're doing this because you want to be more in touch with God. So I'm thinking about and in touch with God way more than I normally am on a daily basis because of what I'm depriving myself of, which is a pleasure of this world, which is great food. You feel me? Honestly, with fasting, it's something where I wanted to open it up to my fan base. So I went on social media and told people what I was doing. And I asked them if anyone wants to join me, no pressure, but come on, like, let's do this. We all trying to, you know, Mission Vision. That's the name of my brand. That's a lifestyle. It's all about motivation and self-improvement. Man, I had, at this point, it's about 1,000 people that said, like, we doing it with you. So now when I communicate with them, it's 1,000 people that just because of social media, they fasting with me.
That's amazing.
That's big, bro. And I pray that they get the breakthrough or that they get the advancement that they're looking for in their own life. You feel me?
Yeah.
Before we turn the camera on, you was talking about, like, you was fasting so hard yesterday. You got Woozy.
Man, I got woozy, bro. I was at the event last night. I was talking with someone, and in the middle of the conversation, I did one of these. And I leaned back, and I caught myself, and I said, blame it on that fast. You know what I mean? But that's okay. That's okay, because once again, I have a story to tell now. And if you haven't been through it, then you can't relate to people who are currently going through it. And what I mean is, been through a season where it's like, bro, by the world standards, life is great, but I know God ain't done with me. So for me, it's like, all right, let's just say I'm 95% up this mountain right now, you know, as far as reaching my potential. That other 5%, I'm not gonna sleep well at night knowing that I still got 5% of untapped potential in me. So whatever I gotta do, whether it's fasting, whether it's, you know, enclosing my circle to only have the realists around me who want to see me win, that's what I gotta do. And I want to be that for my audience, because I feel like a lot of artists, we think it's just music. It's not just music, bro. Our fans look up to us, whether or not we want that title. We are role models. We are influencers in every sense of the word. I take that real serious, bro.
Yo, fans is loving what you're doing. I feel like there's no better segue into your current joint, which is making some serious noise, man. Blast it off for the peoples there.
Yeah, man, we done took over the radio in New Orleans, so Atlanta, it's up to y'all next, man.
We worldwide, baby.
Yeah. Oh, we worldwide? Man, look, we done took over the radio in New Orleans, and when y'all hear this song, it's called I Know God. You know, this is not the type of song that people expect or even want. The powers that be don't want this type of song to take over the radio. But just like the hook said, I know God got a plan for me, but I don't know what it is. I'm just out here trying to handle my biz. You feel me? Yeah. God got a plan for all of us, man. We all got setbacks and obstacles. But just like the song say, man, as long as you stay out here and handle your biz, you're going to get where you was meant to be at. You feel me? So I Know God, this the new joint. Y'all make sure y'all go peep the music video, go stream it. And it's off my album that's out right now called God and Girls. Because
that sound like my life.
Those are the two most powerful things in this world, bro.
Dog.
God, if it ain't about God, it's about these girls.
I like that.
Straight up. And sometimes
I got incredible too for that.
Yeah, the Garden Girls merch is available at missionvisionlifestyle.com. The merch is gangster. And just because you said that, I got to bless you, bro. So I'm going to make sure I take care of you with some Garden Girls merch. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's a lot of time where I got to talk to God because of girls. You know what I'm saying?
There you go, bro. They tied in together. I'm trying to tell y'all.
Man.
For real.
You're going to fast, maybe.
I am right now. I am right now. I am right now.
Hold on, and look,
it sounds like judgment coming from that way. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you know, some people gotta fast from food. Other people gotta fast from, you know, other pleasures.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm doing right now. You know what I'm saying? But I don't. My whole thing is like, no, it's facts though. But my whole thing is like, I do better when I don't declare it. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I know I gotta be held to that, and at the same time, I gotta do this first, me direct to God before I like share it to everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, we in the same category, meaning like we ain't got nothing on our ring finger on our left hand. So
we here. You know,
you trying to change that eventually?
You know what? Me being a man of God, I know that like. He said he who finds a wife finds a good thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I know that ultimately that will be pleasing to him. And it's like I know I want to get there eventually. But at the same time, like, you know, I still got some other things I got to work on first before I'm set to be a husband.
Bro, you ain't gonna never. I don't mean to take up all your time.
No, you good, bro.
I thought like that too, bro. But when are we gonna ever have it all together in our lives to where we feel like, all right, I got it all out my system? Or we'll never have it all out our system. We gonna be imperfect till the day.
Well, I mean, but it's even past that. Even outside of the temptation of other women and stuff like that. Like there are still other things that I would like to have in line for my family. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like I don't know when. It's like I have a set number in my mind that I know. Like in a couple years, I know I'm gonna be. And it's like it ain't like I'm waiting on that to get into that mind state. Yeah. I'm already training now. So it's like once I reach that, you know, and it's like I communicate that with him and let him know, and I know he knows already, but let him know, like, look, this is, you know.
And that's fire. And I'm only saying that because I'm trying to hold myself accountable. I feel like for the past few years, I've been saying, like, yeah, man, like, I'm ready to get married. I'm ready to get married. It's one thing to say it. It's another thing for your actions and your lifestyle to actually reflect that you're ready, that you're ready to hold that title and to be a leader and to be disciplined in all those areas. So I'm ready for it too, and part of this fast is to get my mind right, even in that department, to be able to, you know, bro, like, man, we get so caught up in career nowadays, like especially like this generation, achievement is a god. You feel me? Like people have turned achievement into a god to the point where we be so focused on that we'll treat relationships like, oh, that's just something on the side in my spare time. And it's like you'll never have a healthy relationship if you treating it just like
an extra thing,
extra little accessory. You know, it's not an appetizer. That's supposed to actually be the main course.
But see, I look at it like this: like if I'm gonna take that, I take it so serious that I'm not gonna play with it until I'm ready to take it serious. Basically like that. So it's like the only reason I treat it right now in my life like, hey, it's a side thing, is because I know I'm not ready to be on that level with it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't want to play with it. It ain't like I'm out here just doing like how I used to. It's like more so
I'd rather someone do that. I'd rather someone move as if like I know I'm not ready for that, so that's not what I'm focused on, versus people that'll be dating 5 different women talking about I'm ready to settle down. And you're like, well, that doesn't add up
Well,
at
what
all.
if he got to those 5 from having 10?
Hey, that's progress. No, that's progress.
That's progress.
You
That's
might
progress.
not honor that, but that's real progress.
That's
yo.
progress.
And what about the woman who will sit here and complain about men who do that, but she do the same thing? She just ain't, she like, cause there's a lot of women nowadays who, like, look at that laugh.
Come
See
on.
that laugh? There you go.
I love when men tell.
See, don't do this, man.
We're not gonna turn this into
Hey,
that.
and I'm only
listening.
speaking because there's definitely been, I've experienced a lot of manipulation by people in that area, especially women who use this. God told me that you my husband, D-1. And once somebody says God told him that, it disarms you, and you're like, well, I ain't finna go against what God told you. So
what did God tell you? They got to tell both
He
of
didn't
y'all.
tell me that exactly.
Yeah.
Right. He didn't tell me
He
that.
didn't
God
tell me
didn't tell me
that. But when
That's a different God.
I'm gonna tell that to Sanaa later.
Wait a minute.
it ain't
Woo
God that's
God.
talking to him. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
And man, it's just we live in a world where, bro, like let's just be honest with ourselves. I respect so much that if you like, bro, I still got some stuff in my system that I know I want that eventually. I want to be a husband, but I'm just not there right now.
Yeah.
I respect that, bro. And
Yeah.
hopefully, a woman could respect that. But women will get mad at you a lot of times because if somebody ready to be with you now, she'll be mad at you. Like, you just
Yeah.
playing games. No, I'm
Yeah.
being honest. I don't want to break your heart.
Yeah, I feel like the resort is always what you invest your time in, right? And I feel like there are certain areas that I want to be better in and that I want, whether it be success or just personal preference where I want to be at, right? So it's like I don't feel like I'm going to be investing that time into a relationship if that's not the goal I want right now for that relationship to be on a level. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to invest my time into my craft, my rest, my exercise.
But what about growing together? Why can't y'all do
Who
that
married in
together?
here, bro? Anybody married?
Had
You
crack.
married?
Yeah.
You need to be talking. You quiet as fuck.
Cause he's like, y'all better shut up and have fun.
You were counseling him. Like,
Word.
I worked through my issues. Like, I kind of went into the whole marriage process, like, bad enough, because I didn't personally believe in marriage. I still barely don't. Because most of my married friends are miserable. And they hate the situation they're in because, sometimes relationships collapse under a title. You can date somebody for many years and everything goes perfectly fine.
That's
as soon
true.
as you sign that paperwork, it just puts a
And it can
So
collapse
many
with
people.
or without it because it may collapse because they don't get the title.
See, but I
You know
don't
what
think
I'm
that's
saying?
true because same like you had crack. Like I know people that have been together for 10 years and married for 1. And then they're divorced. But they
Because of
had
the
a
title?
great
Because of-
relationship.
because
Yeah,
of-
they had a great relationship before that. And once they became husband and wife, they started fighting about things that wasn't
issues
an
before.
issue. Yeah, when you were just boyfriend, girlfriend.
I mean, so far I'm good with
It's a
mine,
business.
But
Yeah.
but the thing is, like, I've just, when you've lived your whole life seeing so many examples of it not working out, and you see people who have been together rocking out for longer, but that's my personal journey. You know what I mean? Results may vary. You know what I'm saying? It depends on how you were raised and like, what your family dynamic was coming up. But like, like hearing Jordan tell a story and what he goes through, what he's going through,
Right.
that's his journey. And you
Yeah.
guys are kind of like, simpatico. in
And I
those
feel like
regards.
I feel like we kind of in a
We in that
similar
same
space.
category,
Yeah, that's
bro.
right. Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
I just know I'm a blessed black man in that I grew up with my grandparents. They've been married currently for 66 years. You heard me? Still married, healthy marriage to this day. Then my parents been married for like 30 something years.
Same way with my
Wow.
parents.
Yeah,
Same way with my
for
parents.
me to be a black man, I didn't realize how rare that was until I would start to talk to my
Be
friends
around,
growing
yeah.
up,
Right.
and I'm like, "Damn, your people divorced. Oh, your mom and daddy don't live together." Like, and
I don't
realized,
even know my dad. Not me, but people be like, I don't even know my daddy.
So that being said, I understand how life experiences dictate what our norm is growing up. Like you said, that wasn't the norm for you to see that. I do think that the narrative is changing though to where we seeing that behind every great man is a great woman. You feel me? We
We've
seeing
been telling y'all.
Yeah.
So listen.
y'all been telling us, right? I just feel like we got to make sure that we are coming together as one team in the context of marriage and not just two people that's trying to be individual bosses so much that it's just like this weird like business dynamic to where it's like it look real good from the outside and we're a quote unquote power couple, but in real life you on your grind, I'm on my grind, and we just come together at the end of the night for a few hours.
But
you
I
know?
feel like, the biggest component to all that is the maintaining of togetherness and stability if you have children. Because there are a lot of kids who are worse for wear because they didn't have both parent dynamics in the house. Not saying you're doomed as a child if your father's not there, your mother wasn't there, but it's something about having both of those components in the house that is very important. And I feel like it's so easy to just give up and be like, I'm leaving you, I'm getting my own place, send the kid to me on weekends, and it's not as good as having both people there. So whether you have to do that with a real title or without a real title, but as long as you can get it together and keep it together for the sake of the kids, I feel like that will help strengthen the next generation to be better, because you saw your grandparents and parents be great.
Yeah.
I watched my parents fight and throw fish tanks at each other. You know what I'm saying? Like my grandmother got married 6 times. One of the dudes died, but
Yeah.
Oh, she is the GOAT. Hold on now.
What?
Let's give it up for grandma.
This the problem right here.
That's mess it up right there.
Dee-1, you walked out of the classroom, but you're still out here teaching, bro, man.
Thank you, bro.
Yo,
That's awesome.
Continue success. If people want to follow you on Instagram and Twitter once you get that back activated, where do they go?
Yeah, Dee-1 Music on all social media platforms. DEE, the #1 music. You heard me?
Yo, one time, y'all. Dee-1.
Thank you.
Pick up his new problem. Pick up his new project, God and Girls. It's out now.
We are the Morning Hustle.